Alright, what is up, you beautiful people? And welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl tier list. Looks like we have... it's the desert staging area again. I mean, it is kind of springtime. There we go. So we're playing as Tychus. This week we have the dreaded modifier. For Tychus, at least. It's equality, boys. Equality removes all typing on your unit. So Tychus is normally heroic. This means now he can be CC'd. So we're going to be really sad. We also have Stockpile, which increases our stacking resources. Not like that really matters too much. And then we have Hallowed, which just gives us some buffs on the staging area. And like, that's about it, you know? That's about it. So, yeah, I'm going to have a really bad time. Hopefully I said hopefully I'm not against Artanis, but I am against Artanis. So you guys are about to witness Tychus get absolutely dominated. The only thing I got going for me is probably Vega. I'm thinking I'm just gonna try and Vega and like mind control everything. I don't know. Oh my god, what if I ground everything? Can they hit me? If I like, they'll pick me up and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, boys. We're just gonna try it out here. I'm just gonna play Vega, a Vega experienced Tychus. But yeah, I'm basically just gonna get mind controlled into the... I mean, I'm just gonna get like picked up and stuff. So I think I'll have to like upgrade the amount of armor I have. But I can also steal structures if I'm not mistaken, because these structures are no longer considered typed. Come on, Vega. Wait, I can't steal that? What do you mean? They changed that? Man, that's lame. Oh my god. Alright, just steal something. That's so lame. I can't steal these things anymore? But they don't have types. Man, I got scammed. Anyways, I don't know if Fire Bats would actually counter these guys, because they don't do bonus damage to them anymore. But, I mean, they're getting chain CC'd and everything. Tychus is gonna pull out with some Boswells. Okay, so Vega can't steal the structures anymore, so like she's totally useless now. What the... what am I gonna do now, boys? It's over. What am I gonna do? Oh wait, I stole his Boswell! I stole his Boswell! Oh my... wait, Boswell's a second life? Bruh. I can't believe... I cannot believe you've done this. This guy bought Dragoons? No. Dragoons are horrendous. Oh yeah, but if you steal Boswell, he gets a little confused. Well, it is what it is. Well, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of Vegas and keep mind controlling stuff. I don't know. If I'm mind controlling the enemy Tychus's units, I guess that's fine. You know, W is a W. I just gotta make sure I can like control the Boswell that I could steal. But like, that's hilarious. I'm using mind control the Boswell. He does have a second life on him, so with the Meteor Smasher, he's gonna be kind of terrifying actually. But yeah, Medic's gonna reduce the amount of damage you take. The regular counters that you normally have aren't really there. I think like the units that are highly specialized get worse, basically. So Vega's gonna steal Boswell once. There we go. That's my Boswell now. There we go. That's my Boswell. All right, there we go. Steal him again. There we go. Steal that Boswell. That your Boswell? Our Boswell. I don't know. But yeah, I think Tychus, like, all you really got going, I mean, by the look, oh man, look at that stun. Oh man, feels bad, man. That was a terrible stun. At least I got the cooldown reduction on Vega here. That'll let me steal a bunch of things. I don't know. You know, ground those air units and stuff. But yeah, such is the experience. At least we're not getting like completely dominated. His teammates have still not yet told him to buy a whatchamacallit. Oh, I stole the enemy Tychus! Oh my goodness. Can I steal the enemy Boswell again? There we go, that's my Boswell now. That's my Boswell. Alright, now he's back. Now he's back. He's back on the enemy side. But anyways. Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, I think this week if you're playing Tychus, it's probably just gonna be Vegas. I don't see anything else going for you. Unless of course you're against like a giant group of units. There we go, my Boswell there. Oh, we got Black Hold. Classic. I might still need to get some... What am I gonna get, actually? Maybe I could get some Siriuses, because there's a lot of melee units here. And, Sirius's Sphere works on everything. I do have 3 Vegas, but yeah, it's okay. I could probably buy Sirius and put them in, like, put them in the attack speed and all sorts of whatever aura. Or maybe cooldown reduction is better, because then I get more turns that explode. Yeah, I think cooldown reduction is probably better. I moved away from my mic a little bit, so I'm probably gonna like sound a little funny there. I have to like plug in my phone. There we go, boys. About dang time. Put him down there. There we go. Stealing enemy Tychus is just gonna feel so good. There we go. Except the... oh, there we go. Get him, Boswell. You go get him, Tiger. There we go. Vega, can you steal that guy again? Oh, man. Alright. Yeah, the only problem is Vega doesn't do any damage to these Dragoons, so we're in a bit of trouble. Nikara doesn't take bonus damage, but like, I don't know, Reyna's got a bunch of Marines here. The Marines' only weakness is taking bonus damage, and I mean, I guess like... the usual counters like Colossi are still gonna work. But yeah. Damn. Alright. I think once I have 2 Siriuses, I gotta slap on the terror rounds. Oh, do I want detonators? Maybe I want detonators more than terror rounds. I don't know. But yeah, Sirius is pretty expensive to like get going. You know, but once he's set up, you know. Aespa here having quite a lot of rates. I mean, rates don't suffer from any sort of damage reduction either.
Yeah, what's up, tough guy?
There we go. Boom. There we go. Oh no, he died. Okay. But yeah, there we go. Come on, Sirius. No, it's not. You got this. There we go. We got the Warhound turns coming in there. They're not going to take bonus damage. They're going to, I don't know, do 18 damage. Ideally, I'm going to get a grenade on them. So that, like, because Vorazun here has the Corsair Web. And so if I have a grenade on this guy, he's just going to, I mean, the terror rounds. And the detonator, he's just going to walk in and just explode. So yeah, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna put the detonator on this guy. There we go. Nice. Probably not because of me, I'll be honest. Just because of those beautiful races there. Yeah, I'll put the detonator on these 2 guys. There's a little race supremacy. I'm gonna get the terror rounds going. Pretty sure it's Hunter, Horn, and Rainer who are carrying. Oh, there we go. We finally see some Phoenixes here. I was actually kind of excited to get dominated by a bunch of Phoenixes from Arcanus, but looks like that ain't happening. I don't know how this victory came about, but it did. I'm expecting that I did like 3 damage. But you know what? 3 damage is better than nothing. Let's look at this here. Yes, I did 3 damage, but somehow that was more damage than the entire enemy team's guys. Like their highest damage dealer was only 18. Apparently, though, I got a lot of last hits. I'm assuming the last hits being like the mind control, stealing like those Tychus units. Probably hit pretty hard here. Huh. Alright, well, let's go on to the... Wait, hold on. No. Okay, 25 kills, okay. Let's go on to the tier list. Alright, and we are back. Let's go. So, Brawl modifiers, just a reminder, we have Stockpile, starts with 400 bonus minerals at the start. We have Hallowed, which gives us staging area, that gives us a bunch of buffs, and we have Equality, where units lose all status types. So I think overall strategy this week, you want to focus on having a large HP pool unit that does a good amount of damage. You don't want a unit that has a large HP pool but like has pretty bad DPS. Like that's not that great. Or you can focus on like smaller units that do generalized damage, so they're not like a specialist unit. Because specialist units just don't have any bonuses. I think that's about it for this week in terms of like what to focus on. So here's how I think things rank up. So, Vorazun is in the S tier because, now, while she doesn't have a high HP unit that is, you know, redonkulously strong or like does decent amounts of damage, she can take advantage of the fact that you can go Stalker Stacker as well as very obnoxious Centurion Stun. Now, S tier in the sense that she's strong as a supporting character. I don't think she's going to do a lot of damage. Vorazun already struggles dealing damage this week, and like not having any specialist damage abilities is like really going to hurt. but I think the cooldown reduction is more than enough to make up for it. Now, however, for some real S tier champs, we have Haunted Horner and Rainer. So, Haunted Horner can pack the small units that do a lot of DPS or generalist damage in the form of the Reapers. And you can also switch into a decently sized HP unit that does quite a bit of damage, also known as the Wraith. And finally, you can also buy a high HP unit that does actually both specialist damage and like, well, not specialist, but like both like damage for small numbers of units and damage for small numbers or many units, known as the Sovereign Battle Cruiser. So I think that is going to be pretty strong. As well, you can always get the Deimos Viking, which is still going to be pretty potent. Now, I think Rainer is also pretty good in the form that Rainer can do battle cruisers. I think you can literally just go pure battle cruisers and toss in a few Vikings here and there. Battle cruisers only really lose to stuff like Wrathwalkers or the like. Manx no longer has bonus to massive on his Sky Furies because nothing is massive. So battle cruisers are pretty good against basically anything that exists on the ground that isn't like an Ultralisk, for example. And then your Vikings will take care of most things that fly that might give your battle cruisers a hard time. That's basically it, I think. So yeah, I don't know. I think Rainer's just going to be Death Fleet time. Banshees are also great because they don't do specialist damage, but they still do a lot of damage. Like, they don't lose any damage, is what I'm trying to say. Now, in the A tier, we have commanders who I think are still, they are pretty potent in some ways. Dahak is actually potent, I think, in a way that is different, because he can make use of the Hallowed and go for some Creeper Host. Those things will always be strong because they do flat amounts of damage. They don't do bonus to armor or whatever. And I mean, I guess Dahaka Mutalisk could actually be ridiculously strong, because air units are still considered air units. So Dahaka still has bonus damage. But you know, the only problem with Dahaka Mutalisk is they clump. So eventually their strength is just gonna be negated once enough AoE comes around. So I think honestly with Dahaka this week, you could just probably go like a Giga small Dahaka build. Not Giga, but like just lots of small Dahaka units. Dahaka's Ultralists are going to be really tanky because of their large HP pool, and they can't be CC'd because they have Frenzied, like every other Ultralisk in the game. However, one weakness is, I don't know, Ravasaurs are going to suffer because they don't have that bonus damage to armored anymore, which is not the greatest. I don't know, but I still think small Dahaka has some potency. Maybe like a small Dahaka transition into Host. I think Manx is pretty strong. Manx, you can probably just gun it for, whatchamacall those things. You can probably just gun it for Prides this week and not do too poorly. Prides have lost more of their counters because they're no longer an armored capital ship. That being said, you can also steal things. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that Borzoon can mind control like a bunch of stuff, such as Prides, for example. Although most of Manx's specialist Railguard actually aren't going to do so hot these days, because most of them do specialist damage. And, well, nothing has a unit type. But Manx's boys are going to be just as useful as ever, as they, always are. They're always quite useful, really. I don't think Manx boys have ever been useless. You'll probably want the LMG boy more often than any other boy. Maybe if you have to deal with a lot of ground AoE, then the Flame boy. Just make sure you guys don't buy Medivacs for your boys. Not a problem for me, but they only heal bio targets, so there's that too. So I think Manx's units, you probably only want like maybe Aegis Guard for just raw DPS, because Aegis Guard still be hitting strong. Boys, Prides, I guess tanks could maybe do okay, but not as good as they used to be, so probably those are the only road guards you want. And you definitely do not want a Sky Fury, because that's just a very expensive Viking. So Artanis is also in the A tier. Why? Phoenixes can pick up literally anything. Tychus, pick him up. He's done. All right, put him down. Right. And then you can probably transition to Tempest to help you destroy buildings. That's probably it. I don't know. Yeah, don't buy Dragoons. Don't buy the Immortals. Artanis' other units are very specialized. Just buy units that just do a flat amount of damage to things, for the most part. Now, in the B tier, we have commanders who are like, kind of like a little suspicious. So Karax, you can kind of do the Mirage thing, but like you can't pick up as many things, but you can also put them in the cooldowns. So it's not too bad. So it's like Artanis, but slightly more expensive, but also tankier. That being said, Karax's Colossi are still very potent. And you could probably just do like standard Crusher Karax, or you can go like cooldown reduction with your Annihilators. Really depends. I don't know, but Karax isn't like blatantly OP, but he's not like bad. So there's that. You probably just don't want to get carriers. That's probably it. And then we got Stukov. Stukov kind of suffers because a lot of his damage is through just small amounts of damage, but like lots of units, and or tanks and or Diamondback's specialized damage. And he doesn't really have access to that anymore. So you're probably going to encounter a lot of high HP, high armor units, which is going to be bad for your bunkers, bad for your boys. And your anti-armor units are going to do less damage to them. So overall, Stukov kind of suffers, but like it's not like horrendous, but it's not great either. So that's my assessment for Stukov. You can probably go for Apox, but because they're melee, that's not that great. They can't be attacking the enemies all at the same time, like say a bunch of battle cruisers could be. So that's a bit of a downside. I think Zagar's B tier because, well, Zagar's heroic units are no longer heroic now. That's kind of bad, but she does have a lot of money to start hitting critical mass sooner. The only problem is, I don't know, maybe you'll just end up buying a bunch of Scourge. I don't know, or you could just like threaten lethal by buying a bunch of abs. You know, I feel like the Zagar strategy is pretty much the same regardless of what happens. Although I don't know if abs are immune to being picked up because they're no longer massive. So like, oh my god, what if like you just have all your abs get picked up? That's going to be a bit of a disaster, but I don't know. We'll see. Abathur also B tier. You can take advantage of the cooldown reduction. Your queens can still heal your guys, although, you know, the Abathur queen heal is, I feel like, outlives its usefulness. Or, not outlives, but like its usefulness is no longer as easily noticed after, like, the 5-minute mark. But yeah, you know, locusts are a thing. That's about it, I think. Kerrigan, I think, interestingly enough, the Ultralisk could have big meme potential. It's high armor count, it's healing, it's AoE, large amount of damage to a unit within melee range. Makes it a very good potential unit to just run over your opponent's base. Just like ignore anything that flies and just pile on. Because Kerrigan's weakness of AoE still exists. And while Kerrigan doesn't have any specialist damage units, you kind of want to pick the unit that, I don't know, has a lot of health and armor and sustained damage, and even if it's just melee and it can't hit air units, you can threaten lethal, and that'll force your opponents to deal with them, basically. Now in the C tier, we have some pretty questionable stuff. So Alarak has been cut off. He's not allowed to eat any more chicken nuggets this week. He does not recognize supplicants as a source of bonus health and shields. Because, I don't know, something happened. So Alarak is basically useless, like as the Alarak hero, the command, like the unit that you can buy. So what else has Alarak got going for him? Well, he's got Slayers that got cooldowns. He's got Motherships, but honestly, without Alarak being like a solid front line, Wrathwalkers and Vanguards, oof. And don't even get me started on Vanguards. Vanguards are just going to get knocked, like their anti-armor potential doesn't exist. Wrathwalkers could potentially, maybe, hold out. But I don't know. Hopes aren't high for that one. Swan. Swan's specialist damage dealer is the Cyclone, or maybe like Goliaths could actually be pretty good because they're no longer armored, so they're basically just like a Marine essentially, but better in some situations. So Swan might actually be a little bit better than he looks, but definitely not like OP. He can't heal his units anymore with Science Vessels, but he can still shield them. But yeah, that's about it. Swan still has the same frontline problem, and I think right now his frontline is actually worse against things like Zealots and Zerglings because it cannot do bonus damage. Phoenix. Well, Phoenix's heroes lose heroic status. That is bad. And then Phoenix is just kind of like Karax, except now this week he does not have the Mirage, which, you know, Karax does, and that's kind of important because it's got CC. I don't really see anything else. Like, Phoenix's units are highly specialized damage dealers, and there are no status types this week. So, big sad. I don't think Phoenix is going to be too good. You could probably just spam carriers and, you know, still pull out a win, probably, unless your opponents have battle cruisers. Then you're really sad. Your scouts do, like, pathetic damage. So, yeah, you're big sad if that happens. In the D tier, we actually have probably, like, our biggest roster of people in the D tier in a long time. We got Tychus. I feel like this one's self-explanatory. Tychus has no heroic status, which means he's gonna get tossed around like a ragdoll, mind controlled, beamed, killed, whatever. And you really can't do anything about it when you're playing as Tychus. Maybe the best thing you do is buy Sirius or Vega and just take advantage of mind controlling stuff, but it's not a good time to be Tychus. Even if you know what you're doing, not a good time to be Tychus. Next, Nova. Nova is like the poster child of special damage dealing. And Nova's here because her Goliaths are actually completely useless in the role of dealing with aerial threats this week, because the mechanical disabling missile doesn't work. Nothing's mechanical anymore. So Nova basically cannot handle air units. Like, she just can't. I mean, maybe not can't, but like, she can't shut down air units like she used to, which is huge because she literally has no other response to air units besides shutting them down with Goliaths. So that's a bad thing. Her Ghost, useless. You can't snipe anything. And I don't know, your tanks don't do bonus damage. Your Hellbat Rangers don't do bonus damage. You get countered real hard by a bunch of Phoenixes. And so probably the only thing you got going for you is a Liberator, which while it does large damage to ground targets, it doesn't do that kind of damage to aerial targets, which you'll probably be facing more of this week. So you just probably have to buy a bunch of Marines and like pray. That's probably it. Stepman. Stepman's Ultras are pretty good. Maybe you can spam Banelings. I think that's about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing something with Stepman, but to me, that seems to be all that's going on with Stepman. Nothing really that great. Like his Zerglings are probably gonna be a little tankier, and then like his Ultras be a little tankier, but like that's about it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tier list. If I missed anything, any strategies, any secret hidden OPs, and yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later.
The tires, let's light some fires.
Need a light.
They picked the wrong fight.